Welcome to 2020 and a new decade. I hope your year is off to an incredible start. And how you start 2020 is not only going to affect the next 12 months of your life, but it's going to affect the next 10 years. And that's because we entered a new decade. And I'm sure you already felt the energy shift. Did you feel the energy shift? The energy now is so much faster and it's much more lighter. It's just so quick. Just 2 weeks ago, I was able to manifest in 3 minutes, and that's something I've never been able to do. And it's not that I'm special, you're special too, but it's because the frequency right now is just so powerful. And the reason why this is happening is because we are now at a tipping point of our ascension process. So if you're not familiar with ascension, with the fifth dimension, then basically ascension is our human evolution. Human evolution has been around for thousands of years. It's normal. It's a part of our species. Before, we used to walk on 4 feet, on 4 limbs, right? And then we slowly start to walk upright, and then we started using our thumbs and building villages and so on. Well, did you hear about the media in 2012, how they were saying that in 2012 the Mayans said that the world would end? Well, the media got it all wrong, and that's because the Mayans were not saying that the world was going to end. They were saying that an era was going to end and that we would be entering a new era, the era of Aquarius. And this is the golden age. So in this golden age is when we are just completely exponentially evolving as a human species. So now we are evolving at a cellular level, at the DNA level, at a consciousness level. Go look up junk DNA. All our DNA from our ancestors back from Atlantis is getting activated right now. And yes, I did just say Atlantis. So I'm sure you're familiar with the lost city of Atlantis. And even if you're skeptical right now, continue to watch this, because it's good for you to just open up and think about, what if this was possible? I'm not saying I'm 100% right. I'm just encouraging you to open up and consider, what if this was possible? So if you're skeptical, make sure to stick around, because towards the end of this video, I'm going to share more of the scientific aspect of what's happening to us right now. So basically, in Atlantis, the Atlantis empire, the Atlantis age, whatever you want to call it, this was such an advanced civilization, and these are our ancestors. So in Atlantis, we would be able to manifest like this. So we had this amazing manifestation abilities. And so what happened was the ego got in the way, because I would say, look, how I could manifest this beautiful golden object. And then my neighbor would be, well, I can manifest this larger golden object. So sort of this competition started, and the ego just got out of control. So basically, that's why Atlantis sank. It was destroyed because we could not handle our power. And so once Atlantis sank, the survivors basically moved to Egypt, and that's where the whole ancient Egyptian alchemy started. Think about how Moses, when he parted the Red Sea, right? That was all alchemy. It was all this amazing wisdom and information, because back in Atlantis, spirituality and science were not opposing forces. They were actually one, and that's exactly what we are returning to this year. So in 2020, we are going to see at the collective level, so much of the corruption, so much of this hidden information is going to come to light, and our world is going to change dramatically this year. I can guarantee that. And we're already seeing it change, right? I mean, I'm shooting this on January 9th, and tomorrow we have the eclipse, then we have the January 111 portal of new beginnings. And why, like, the universe is giving us signs. It's giving us signs. It's telling us we are ready for new beginnings at a collective level. And I hope you are ready for new beginnings at the individual level, because in 2020, what you thought was impossible will be possible. There is going to be so much growth, so much abundance opportunities for you, and you really have to take advantage of it. And this is totally aligned with this whole ascension process. So going back to human evolution, right? So before we were walking on 4 limbs and we stood up. So what this ascension process is it's a natural evolution process where we are evolving again at the DNA level from a dense carbon-based like DNA to a crystalline light body based. So you hear a lot of people talk about your aura, your energetic body. Well, you're gonna start to see Reiki and bioenergy and all of this become more mainstream. And there's already so many doctors like Dr. Bruce Lipton, Dr. Dr. Joe Dispenza talking about the merge between science and spirituality, because we are not living anymore in a dualistic world. We're shifting. That's where we were, good and bad, right? Light and dark. We're shifting from this into a oneness perspective where everything is one vibration. And so, again, talking about Atlantis. So Atlantis was destroyed because we couldn't really control our power. But what the Mayans were saying, that once we entered as a human species into this new era, the golden age, that's when we would return back to our power. That's why I was able to manifest in 3 minutes. And again, I'm not special. I am special, and I am just as special as you are, right? We're all masters. We're all so powerful, and we really need to start tapping into this power, because right now we are at a tipping point. At the collective level, as a human species as a whole, we reach this point in our evolution where more people are aware about the power of their mind, the power of their thoughts, the power of love, right? And so because we're aware of this, our whole earth, even Mother Earth has shifted. And so all these wildfires, these earthquakes, these volcanic eruptions, they're all a part of this. Donald Trump, he's a part of this too, because basically our world has to detox, and that's what we're going through right now, and we need to step into this world of new beginnings. So in Atlantis, when everything got destroyed, right, basically our power was taken away, but now our power is returning back to us in this golden age. So you're watching this video for a reason, okay? And you are also on this planet for a reason. In order for you to reincarnate into a human body, you must have been very, very special and important, because you chose to be born at this specific time in human history. Never in human history have we seen the amount of energy and information inflowing into our planet. So the Mayans were so advanced with their calendar, and what they were saying was that in December 21st, that solace on 2012, that not that the planets would align, but sort of like the galaxies would align. And so the galaxies are usually all chaotic, right? But all these galaxies, they were merging together in sort of like a perfect alignment. And all of this inflow of information has been coming into our planet since then. That's why you see so many people getting interested in yoga and meditation, in crystals. They even sell crystals at Forever 21 and Target now. How crazy is that? 10 years ago, if you walk down the street, if you ask someone if they knew about chakras or meditation, they would look at you funny. But now, out of those 10 people, at least 2 of them will know what you're talking about. And that's because this is happening at a collective level. We are rising again back into our power. We're expanding our consciousness. And what's such a big important part of this, that you have to access your consciousness as much as possible, because in 2020 and in this decade, you really have to take advantage of all the opportunities right now. Because the way I've been explaining this to my students and to my clients is that in this year, it's going to be raining gold. And if you're ready to catch it, then you will be able to catch as much as you want. But if you're not prepared to catch it, then you're gonna miss such an incredible opportunity. So this is the year for you to really step into your power, step into that growth, and receive and accept all the abundance that's waiting for you. And I know you're watching this video for a reason, and there's there's so much science behind this, where we can talk about quantum fields and bioenergy and so on. There's just so much information being released at such a fast rate right now that we have not seen before. And again, we're realizing that science and spirituality are not two fields. They don't have to oppose each other. They can actually coexist, and they benefit each other as one. Let me give you an example. Have you seen the Vitruvian Man? Leonardo da Vinci, the man who's standing out with his arms wide and his leg wide. So Leonardo da Vinci was actually trying to show us the human aura in this drawing. And this is a human aura, right? So this has been around for so many years, but we are finally ready as a collective human species to work with this information and use it to grow and move on from the third dimension to the fourth dimension to the fifth dimension. And this is nothing new. And everything that I'm telling you, you already know, because you already have all this wisdom inside of you. And I'm merely here as a guide to remind you all of that you already know. And so this has been spoken about for millennia. And if you're skeptical about what I said about Atlantis, then you can go check out Edgar Cayce. Edgar Cayce was this farm boy, and he would start going into trance in his dreams, and he would start to channel information. And he's one of the first people who started channeling information about Atlantis. So if you're interested, if you're still skeptical, I respect that. I admire that, because you are curious, right? So go research that. And the most important thing I want you to take away is that 2020 is your year. Take advantage of all the amazing growth opportunities.